You're gay. Hello and welcome back, Ravers. It is season 4, episode 16, sweet 16 of Gay Rave, and I am the Gabby L. Welcome back. I have missed you so much. I hope you've been staying safe in the snowstorm. If you're from a place that got snow, everyone's all up in arms about this. I'm like, we live in New York. This is pretty par for the course. I don't know what to tell you, okay? And you know what? For all these shit, everyone was talking about these Tims from China, my Louis Vuitton Tims that I ordered. No one was talking shit. Everyone was actually quite supportive. I don't know what I'm saying. So I thought that the Tims from China were not going to hold up in the snow and they were going to potentially disintegrate. But I am here with great news, which is that they're fully functioning Timberlands. Like, they are not disintegrating. They are not like letting the water or the snow seep through. They're actually a perfectly functional boot. And to that I say, yay, win one for China. And also another win for China because, you know, America is not going to be a superpower in the world anymore. So that's great. Had an amazing bingo last week. Thank you to everyone who showed up. We are so fucking back. We are so fucking back. We've got one scheduled. We've got my non-alcoholic one scheduled February 5th at Soft Bar. And apparently that matters because the man who invented Soft Bar is from Summer House. And I also have a Bush bingo in February and March. So more to come on that. But first, you know, we must talk about the world, an American event that happened, and the killing of Alex Preddy in Minnesota, the second killing by an ICE or CBP agent after Renee Good, and how absolutely horrific it is. And, you know, the lying about the event by the administration is bad, but obviously the actual murder of American citizens is worse. And the thought that people who are protesting and trying to protect one another are being killed is just like really, really scary. But I am overall, among feeling helpless, I am inspired by the people of Minnesota who are out in the streets in the freezing cold, and the people who continue to speak out and call the representatives and make this the big deal that it is. Like, I ultimately believe that we have to believe that this can get better in order for it to get better. And we have to force the issue, and we have to not forget, so that way we can pressure the people who are in authority to actually make the change. Like, calling your representatives, calling your senators, doing whatever you can. You know, there's another funding bill that actually passed the House, which is fucked up, by the way. 7 or 8 Democrats voted for it to fund DHS, by the way. And it's going to go to the Senate, and they have the opportunity to once again like shut down the government. It doesn't actually stop ICE or CBP, but it actually could bring a lot of attention to this. And we should tell them to do that. We should tell them what we want. Like, people will care when it starts to impact them. Like, they're looking for how people are feeling about this. What's the sentiment? What staying power does it have? You know, at the same time this weekend, when Alex Preddy was murdered in the street, there was a screening of Melania, the documentary, at the White House. And you know who were there? The fucking tech CEOs. Tim Cook was there. You know what, Tim? And you're gay. And you're gay. You know what? I do think that all these fuck-ass billionaires who are going and licking Melania and Donald Trump's ass at the White House, like, if they felt the impact of people no longer buying their services or, you know, going on strike, like, that could also potentially be impactful. So we'll see what comes of all this, but I am inspired by the people who are going out into the street, because honestly, it just makes you want to like go and do something. You feel so helpless to see these things happening and to not know what to do. But I think all you can do is support and see how you can provide like money or signature or resources. And in other ways, like, call locally and see what you can do, even if you live in a blue state. Okay. So that's what I have to say about that. And just sending a lot of love and light to Minnesota. So that being said, let's just talk about fucking current events for gay people, okay? My God. Okay. First, let's talk about Angel Reese and how she's going to be in Hunting Wives season 2. On the list of things that I thought I was going to read, this is sort of like an ad libs of my interests, so that's always nice to see. Angel Reese of the WNBA and former college basketball fame, a super baddie. A super baddie who went to LSU. Now she plays for the Chicago Sky, although that's up in the air right now, I think. So TBD. And she's just like fashionista looking gorgeous. She made her debut in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Like, she is incredible. Okay. So yeah, she was in one of those like casting director chairs and it said Hunting Wives season 2. And I was like, how are they going to incorporate her into this plot? And listen, I know that they were really hyping it up in like a sexy, scary way, and people's jaws are going to be on the ground. But I think I'm more like, how are they going to put Angel Reese in this plot in a way that makes any logical sense? And I think it's just going to not make sense. It's just going to be there, which I think is better. Like, you know what? Why does it have to make sense? It's TV anyway. Throw Angel Reese in there and act like it's totally normal. I'm like, whatever. Okay, where is she in the plot? I can't think about it too much. Okay, moving on. Speaking of people joining the cast, Dylan Mulvaney, who got her start on TikTok. She was doing the Days of Girlhood as she was sort of transitioning. And it was beautiful and amazing to watch her becoming the woman that she always knew herself to be and doing things that, like, she had never really gotten to do as a girl and presenting as a woman. So that was how she sort of rose to fame. And then she was bullied a lot on the internet because she was a part of the Bud Light campaign. And if you don't recall, it was like during Pride Month and they had those like rainbow Bud Light cans and she was in an ad for them. And then everyone started buying them and shooting them. Do you remember this? Okay, so yeah, that was her. And then she actually had her own Broadway show again recently called like The Least Problematic Girl on Earth, something like that. Okay, so she has been cast in the show 6. Okay, and she has been cast as Anne Boleyn. So when I saw this casting, I was also like, ha ha, a classic. Because I was like, I did not know that she had the pipes to be doing all that. When I think of 6, I just think of like so many vocal moments, like the runs that these bitches are doing, the heights that these notes are reaching, the depths. It is absolutely incredible. And I think as an ensemble, it's like, they will blow your fucking ears off. Like, it's so good. They're always like screaming and belting, and I'm like, this is like Mercedes from Glee on crack. Okay, so when I was like, oh, if Dylan's gonna be in it, like, I had no idea that she had the pipes for that. And if she does, great. And if she doesn't, also fine, because she is one of the wives. So like the other wives could just like carry the ship. It's stunt casting. Okay, we know that. But people are bullying her on the internet, and I think, some people are bullying her because she's trans, and I'm like, I have no problem with a trans woman being in this cast. Don't get it twisted. My worry is that the vocals are going to suffer because of it. But listen, I'm here to see it anyway. Like, I am not going to go see it, but I have, and I am actually intrigued to see how she holds up. Okay, so if we can get a 2-for-1, maybe let's go see it. Okay, and support, because fucking stop bullying Dylan Mulvaney. Hasn't she been through enough? Honestly, hasn't she been through enough? And this is what I think is so fucked up. I'm like, bullying trans people is actually crazy, and being like, trans people are just like confused and they shouldn't exist and all this shit. And I'm like, what person would go through all of this? Like, just like willy-nilly. Like, what person would go through all of this just like to troll the conservative party, just like to go into a bathroom and like be a perv? The answer is they wouldn't. Because it's fucking hard and probably really, really traumatic and really, really difficult, and challenges like your relationship and your sense of self and all of these things. Like, can we leave her alone? My God. Okay. Moving on to something nice. The Heated Rivalry cast carried the Olympic torch for the opening of the Winter Olympics in Milan. And I saw those videos, like the little car behind them and them walking in their little suits. It was like a tracksuit, white tracksuit. Connor Story giving the little hand, the gay hand, the floppy little wave. They were looking adorable. They looked like it was looking Hunger Games-esque, I'm not gonna lie, but I thought it was hysterical. Like the breakthrough culturally that has to happen for these two 25-year-old boys to be carrying the global Olympic torch through Milan, inspiring. Like, we did it, gay people. We finally stand so hard that it actually has global representation. And it's happened before. Okay, it has happened before. But in this way, I feel like we're just doing good all around. Okay, so I'll link it in the show notes. You should go look. It's very, very heartwarming. Okay. Less heartwarming in gay news, gay current events. The Queer Eye men are beefing, and it's actually quite funny. So they're all on like this like press tour for their final season of the show on Netflix. They're like trying to, get people excited. The show drops soon, blah, blah, blah. They're talking about the beautiful heroes and the stories and the people whose lives they change, etc. So they were going on like a daytime talk show for the media tour. And there are Fab Five, remember, it's 5 people, and only 4 of them are sitting in stools, and the host of the show is like, "You'll notice Karamo isn't here. He gave me a note to read." And the gag of Karamo not only not showing up the day of for the press appearance, but not telling his co-casts, like his co-stars, and telling the host of the show and being like, "Read this live," so they have to respond live in real time. Iconic behavior. Like, I'm not gonna lie. He was always like the social and culture chair. And this is very social and culture of him. So apparently when they were filming on set, Karamo brought his mom, and his mom like had those earpieces in like people do, and apparently she heard those like co-cast members talking shit about Karamo on a hot mic, and she told Karamo, and he like unfollowed the 3 of the other 4. So like the primary, like Tan, JVN, and Anthony, he like unfollowed, and he's keeping the one who replaced Bobby, like the one who does the housing and stuff. He didn't unfollow him. So it seems like he has no beef with the new guy. He only has beef with the other 3 OGs. Okay. And he seems cool with Bobby still. Bobby got out. Bobby's chill. He actually has another show. It's on a different channel. I'll post it in the show notes or whatever. But I do think that saying to the host, "Read this note," and it's like, "I have decided not to come today because I didn't want to be bullied and I need to protect my mental health," and being like, "Okay, cast, what do you have to say to that?" And of course all of them are like, "We're devastated, like we wish Karamo was here, we didn't know he wasn't going to be here, like all families, we have struggles too, like we are not a perfect family, but we love each other and it's complicated, and I'm sure everyone can understand that." And I was like, "You media trained bitches, go apologize. What are you doing?" So Karamo, I'm sorry about that, but honestly I stopped watching the show a long time ago. I couldn't give you a specific reason why. I did watch in the beginning, and I was crying sometimes in the beginning, but I don't watch TV like that. Okay, moving on. More gay news. Kim Petras' label is apparently giving her trouble, and it won't let her release her album. So on, I think it was X, or like maybe it was like Instagram or Threads or whatever they call it. Maybe it was Instagram. She said that apparently, like, if it's not like TikTokable and if it's not a part of the zeitgeist, they're like not interested in actually like publishing her music or setting a date for her release. So she's saying that her album's going to come out either way. She said it's been ready for 6 months, and she even has a music video filmed. She calls it her best music video yet, which she has some pretty iconic music videos, like Coconuts, may I say. Okay, and she said they won't let her release it. And I'm mostly like, how can one person be making this much music? I swear to God, she dropped 2 albums in 1 year. She dropped like the Sex album, like the Miami version, and then she also dropped like Problematique. I'm pretty sure it was like a 3-month window. I don't know what she is doing. She is in the studio. If she's doing one thing, she's fucking in the studio. And in her statement or whatever, she was like, "I won a Grammy 2 years ago, like first trans duo to win a Grammy, and like where's my hype? Like, hello, let me release this album." And I just need to see whatever she's calling her best music video yet. I find that fucking crazy. And my curiosity is it going to be about fucking or no? Be honest, okay? Listen, we could have a Kim Petras be giving us fucking music fall if that is the timeline. And if we have to move it up, we can have the sexy spring. We will do what it takes. We just need to make sure the music comes out. And I already follow Kim Petras on SoundCloud because she has this unreleased song called 105. And I still go on SoundCloud to listen to it sometimes. I think I even downloaded it to my phone years ago. It's truly like a less than 90-second clip. And I'm like, this could save me. This could save my day. Okay. Moving on, Oscar nods came out. There were a couple people who were snubbed, and then I'm going to talk about the gay things that came out. There's not many to talk about, so this should be quick, okay? Wicked was snubbed. Wicked Part 2 had no nominations, okay? So that's like no Arianka, no Cynthia, no nobody. I also have a question. My question is mostly Madame Morrible and the Wizard. Are they an item? Or are they like brother and sister? In my mind, they're one of the two. And you cannot tell me otherwise. Just friends. I don't know. She's kind of doing a lot for him for them to just be friends. Like, she's just like his evil witch best friend. Like, I think they're more than friends. They have a lot of freaky energy. Some things to work out. Okay, so moving on. That's not the point. Some other snubs for gay things were Sorry Baby and Hedda. They had no nominations. I'm sorry to them. Also, Natalie Portman coming out being like, these things were snub and they were directed by women. And it's crazy how the things that are directed by women, like we need to see this support from the Academy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Natalie Portman, just like go do movies with women then. Okay? Go do that. Walk the walk, babe, okay? And big shout out to Sinners with 16 nominations, the most in history, okay? The most nominations for a film in history. So incredible. Also, big ups to the Black community, the director, the producer, the cast, incredible. And both of those Michael B. Jordans. I am like amazed, all right? I liked Sinners except for that one part where the jump scare, I didn't like that. But for context, the previous record is 14 nominations. And it's a 3-way tie for films that have had 14 nominations in one cycle. And it is shared by 1950's All About Eve, 1997's Titanic, and 2016's La La Land. So shout out to Sinners. Let's talk about the gay things that were nominated. The 4 things, okay? Apparently K-pop Demon Hunters was written by a gay man, and that was nominated, okay, for animated something. Documentary feature film, Come See Me in a Good Light, about gay people or lesbians. That was nominated. Nomination for Best Animated Feature Film of the Year for Elio. Apparently there's gay people in Elio. Okay. Look at me and all the research I did. And then 2 LGBTQ Best Live Action Short Films. Amazing. 2 in 1 category. A Friend of Dorothy and 2 People Exchanging Saliva. That's probably Kim Petras' new album name. So shout out to the gay people who were nominated. Not much to go off of here. Not much to say. Not much to share. But listen, a win is a win. All right, a win is a win. Moving into rave reviews. And my rave reviews today, I'm going to talk about 3 things, and they're all straight culture. And I'm so sorry, but they're hilarious to me. And that's why we have to give them their own segment. Okay. First thing, rave review. Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi are starring in Wuthering Heights, in quotations, coming out around like Valentine's Day. Charlie XCX did the entire soundtrack. Will I be seeing it? Well, yes, with Lizzie K. Lizzie K, call me, my A-listing entourage. Did you know if you have AMC A-list, you can put people in your entourage and then you could actually like, book for them. Since you pay for a certain amount of free movies a month, like Liz can book my ticket and I could book her ticket. It's like so tea. It really is, okay? So Margot and Jacob Elordi. Margot married. Jacob Elordi dating the girl whose mom went to prison for trying to get her into college. Okay, so both of them in relationships. They're in this like yearning old style movie, right? It's like based on the Wuthering Heights book, but it's like loosely, modern take on it or whatever, creative take, and that's why it's in quotations. I think it's hysterical. Putting Wuthering Heights in quotation marks, so good, okay? And they're 2 hot people, so obviously that's amazing. And Margot Robbie was saying how, like, their love interest, and during filming, like, she found herself, like, really, like, feeling for Jacob, and, like, they had a really strong connection as castmates. And she said on set, she found herself being like, where's Jacob? And I saw this shit on Instagram today and was like, apparently Jacob Elordi filled her, trailer with roses on Valentine's Day. And I was like, if this is true, scary if true, raise your hand if you were scared. Like, there is no way that I could ever date an actor. The way that these people are sucking and fucking and kissing on set, the closeness in which you have to be with somebody and the connection that you create in order to be in love on camera, I do not have the stones for that. I was not built with the integrity. I have a weak constitution. I would never be able to tolerate that. I'd be like, filling her trailer with roses? Are you co-stars or what? Like, your mom went to prison to get you into college, and now you're dating Jacob Elordi and he's doing this shit. And what are you going to say? Probably nothing, because you're dating Jacob Elordi. I don't know. Oh, Jacob Elordi and Zendaya dated? Now that baby would have been amazing. But listen, I want to change nothing about Zendaya's relationship with Tom Holland. I want to change literally nothing about it. Me and who? When? Okay? Moving on. So yeah, I am happy for them. I can't wait to see them be in love on screen, but that shit stresses me out. Margot Robbie being like, our connection was really intense. Margot, it's okay. I heard her husband's uggo anyway. She should do whatever she wants. She can do whatever she wants. She could do no wrong for me. Okay? Moving on. The Victoria Beckham wedding drama. Now this shit has me. The internet is so funny about this. And listen, if there's anything I need, it's an AI created photo of Victoria Beckham doing a split at her son's wedding. All right. So here's the tea. Victoria and David Beckham have a son named Brooklyn. Okay. Brooklyn, whose name is like gigantic tramp stamp style on David Beckham's lower back. Okay. Hilarious. I think it's their firstborn. All right. So Brooklyn and his wife, who is apparently like dated other celebrities, she's a model or something like that, right? Her name is Nicole or Nicola or something like that. So they got married, beautiful wedding, blah, blah, blah. And Victoria hired Mark Anthony to be there to sing some songs. And apparently, when Mark Anthony was going up to sing a song, he said, I would like to invite the most beautiful woman to the dance floor. And he was referencing Victoria Beckham. Not the bride. So he was trying to introduce the mother-son dance. And so, Victoria and Brooklyn go up to do their dance, but it's like kind of a sexy and romantic song. And the bride is really, really upset by this because they were supposed to have their first dance. And she was also called the not most beautiful person in the room. So she like leaves the room crying. So now Victoria and her son Brooklyn are dancing to the sort of sexy Mark Anthony song, and he shaded the bride, and the bride's crying in another room. Okay, so that's not amazing. But my take on this is that it's Mark Anthony's fault. I don't know how to say this, but Mark Anthony, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's a language barrier, but Mark Anthony did create this drama. And Brooklyn and his wife like excommunicated David and Victoria Beckham. There's his parents. He said he's no longer on speaking terms with his parents because of that. That is devastating. And to that I say, Mark Anthony, why don't you call Mark up? Like, is this my fault? What should she have done? Got on the mic and be like, oh no, the most beautiful person is Nicola. You should do a different song. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you just power through it. I don't know. Is this politeness rules? They're from the UK. I guess like maybe they don't have politeness rules. I don't know. Maybe it's because it was on US soil. The UK politeness rules were no match for the US politeness rules. Okay? I don't know, but I thought this was hilarious. And it all roads lead back to this being Mark Anthony's fault. Okay? And you cannot tell me otherwise. And people are making jokes like Victoria was dancing inappropriately with her son. And so people are like, Victoria was Jersey turnpiking on her son. Victoria Beckham caught Jersey turnpiking on her son at his wedding. This shit is so funny. Honestly, it's too good. Okay. Moving on, the last straight funny news that I want to share with you is this glambot leak. Okay, so you know the glambots that they do at like the Grammys and the Oscars or whatever? It's like the slow-mo action shots, the like camera that they do. It's like the camera like swishes around and then you get like a slow-mo photo of these celebrities like smiling and laughing. Okay, so the guy who does the glambot, like, he has become famous now because he's like got like this really like amazing hair, and he's always the guy who's like, okay, sit on your mark, do you know what you want to do, like, here, get ready, go. Okay, so his name is Cole Walliser. Okay, and somebody leaked these emails from 2019 trying to like rent the glambot, for their wedding. And he was so mean to her. She was like, yeah, I want it for my wedding. Like, how much is it? And he was like, it's somewhere between like 300,000 and $1,000,000. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, okay, sure. I'm pretty sure she's like a princess or something. But he was like, well, don't ask if you're not gonna book it. Or he was just saying some really shady shit. And I was like, my brother, you are high on the fucking glambot. You run a camera on a red carpet, my brother. We gotta be nice. And via email, you're gonna be shady via email, and then it's gonna be like sent from my iPhone. That shit does not sit right with me. You are too drunk on power. Like the celebrities walk up and they do their thing, and then they walk away, and you are like, I am that dude. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks that he has nice hair because mean people usually are balding. Because the bad thoughts start to degrade the follicles. Like the bad thoughts are trying to seep out, and so therefore the hair dies on top of the head. The bad thoughts are trying to break out of their head. And so it surprises me that he's a bad person because he does have nice hair. And I would like to say I am bucking all the stereotypes and all the standards because I am a good person and I have great hair. And that's how it should be. All right. So that's the glambot drama. The fact that someone was leaking, in quotations, like Wuthering Heights, leaking emails of the glambot guy being rude to them in 2019. Hilarious. And also charging $300,000 for a fucking camera. He's like, the camera and the crew and the setup, like $300,000 to $1,000,000. Sir, please. Sir, please. You can get the Kardashian fucking photo booth for less than that. And I've been in that Kardashian photo booth at a wedding for these bougie people in Texas, and that was incredible. Those photos, I look airbrushed. I've never looked better in my life, probably. That's not true. Okay, moving on. Okay, we're moving on to grave reviews. And I will say, to do this fuck-ass podcast, I Google on the internet, I type into the search bar, no AI, because I don't want to kill trees in the Amazon, okay? So I'm Googling on the internet, in the Google machine, gay news, enter, search, okay? And then I'd like open tabs for the first like 2 pages of links, and then I read through those things and see what I want to talk about, okay? And I stumbled upon the website them.us or them.us is how I like to call it. And I say, couldn't be more inclusive. Alphabet Mafia. Okay, off to a great start. They posted an article called The Most Iconic List of Evil Bisexuals or something like that. Okay, like an exhaustive list of evil bisexuals in media. And to that I say less. I've already clicked. I'm reading the list. And the way that they were stretching and reaching for reasons why people were on this list. I mean, they got to 30. They got to 30. And the last one, I'm pretty sure that's in like the 5 I could name. Okay. If I had to name 5 bisexuals in general, this person would be on the list. All right. So I'm going to take you through a couple people on this list and then we could talk about it. Remember, them.us posted this exhaustive list of evil bisexuals in media. Okay. Number 30, Piper Chapman from Orange is the New Black. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. Evil because she was kind of like very anti-hero vibes, kind of unlikable. Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. Number 28, we see Shauna Shipman from Yellow Jackets. I didn't know that she was bisexual. I did stop watching after season 1 because it was too scary. But sure, I guess. I guess she's in like a complicated situation. I don't know if I would call her evil or bisexual, but all right, moving on. Number 26 on the list, Jackie from Love Lies Bleeding, the movie about anti-juicing. Okay, so apparently this person is bisexual and evil. Unclear. I didn't know if she was evil, but I definitely know that she was juicing and then became a big steroid monster at the end. Okay, so unclear about the evil part. So number 25, Emily Nelson from A Simple Favor. That I can get on board with. Blake Lively's character, right? Very villainous, had those little sexy moments with this woman, and was married to a man. I could get on board with that. All right. Number 23, Stewie Griffin. Okay. I have not been keeping up with it. Remember, Family Guy's been on since 1999. There was a time, I guess. Stewie, a baby, by the way. Evil bisexual, jury's out on that one. 22, Quinn Fabray from Glee. I'm pretty sure that she had a hero arc. I don't know if she was bisexual, number one. And then number two, evil, I guess she did convince her current boyfriend that she got pregnant because he had pre-cummed in a hot tub and it was his best friend's baby. I guess that's qualifiably evil. Bisexual, unclear. They might be mixing her up with Britney and Santana. Moving on. Number 21, Allison De Laurentiis from Pretty Little Liars. I don't totally remember the ending, but I do think she was kind of manipulative and evil. Was she bisexual? I think yes, because she was kind of hooking up with Emily low-key. Low-kenually. The youth are saying this, low-key and genuinely. Okay. Number 20, you're going to love this. You're going to hate this. Okay. John Tucker from John Tucker Must Die. Y'all, I'm going to need you to be so fucking for real right now. And I'm going to need you to see what they say the reasons are. The reasons... While I was reading this, I was like, you can't be so for real. Like, I'm going to need you to lock in. Okay. So they said, some would call John Tucker evil because he was unethically non-monogamous to the point of driving 4 girls to attempt social homicide. I don't disagree. Where does the bisexual coding come in? Most of the tactics they use to try and take him down involve feminizing him in one way or another in order to make him seem gay and therefore less desirable to other girls at school. Meanwhile, his attraction to women is irrefutable, but each time he embraced the covert sabotage or took it in stride. Is that what a bisexual is now? Okay, interesting. 16, Fegan Floop, the owner of Floop's Fluglies in Spy Kids. The way that the list, we are going down the list. We're getting closer to number 1, and we're reaching into the archives in this way. We're talking about Floop's Fluglies 2001. Okay, they were just trying to help us because of 9/11. They said, ready? Here we go. However easily manipulated Floop may have been, also played by Alan Cumming, by the way, famously Scottish Alan Cumming, he was still complicit in all of the Minions' crimes of kidnapping and mutilating OSS agents for the sake of a children's show. Is this queer art? Not only can bisexuals not sit properly in a chair, but we also often have strange little hobbies. Floop may be a madman, but he also has insane style, and we all look back on this character so fondly because he definitely outweighs the others. Interesting. 14, Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl. That I'm on board with. Okay. Number 8, Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder. Also on board with that. Okay. And then number 7, Regina George, Mean Girls. Honestly, the other ones I really did not know. I will tell you who number 1 is just because I'm not going to be a frigid bitch and not tell you because I feel like you have listened to me talk about this for long enough and you deserve to know. Number 1 is Prudence Blackwood from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, 2018 to 2020. Not a clue what that is or who it is, but apparently it's played by Kiernan Chipka. And they are an evil bisexual, the most evil bisexual. Okay? So that's an interesting article written by someone on them.us. And do I have to agree? No. Do I have to like it? No. Will I read it and tell you about it? Absolutely. This is the kind of content that gay people need to be making for us to talk about. And if they stop, what am I going to talk about? Okay, we've already talked about 3 straight things today. We had to cleanse the palate. Moving on, can I say something? I was thinking about this the other day. And in New York, like, celebrities are kind of lurking around. You know, like, celebrities are around. On this winter snow day, I saw these Instagram stories of, like, Shaun White was in Central Park with his snowboard doing jumps over Shane Gillis. Like, that's crazy. And then another dog account was like spotted with Taylor Swift in Central Park. First of all, I moved away from Central Park for literally 6 months, and this is what's going on. It's fucked up. Have I seen a celebrity around here yet? No, but I don't see a lot of celebrities because I'm not paying attention. But remember, my motto for this year is we live in a society. And so I'm trying to have my AirPods out, trying to be more attentive. I'm trying to really see what's out there in the world, okay? And people all the time, like, they'll be with me and they'll be like, oh my God, that's like John Hamm or like Ellie Kemper or like other people, you know, like other celebrities. And I like completely miss them because I like wasn't paying attention because I have like ADHD, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just different. I'm not like other girls. I actually am like 90% of the people I know. I'll believe ADHD is real when someone who isn't gay has it. Okay, that's all I have to say. So now that I'm like paying attention, I feel like the opposite is happening, because now I'm like, I feel like I'm seeing celebrities everywhere. Like the gag of me being like, oh my God, like I swear to God, I thought I saw, who did I think I saw the other day? Jane Fonda. I thought I saw Jane Fonda walking around Times Square as I was headed to the subway the other day. And I was like, is that Jane? And of course, then I go on the internet and like see like, oh, or what are Jane's whereabouts? Of course, like she's not like posting on Instagram, so like I can't check. So I was pretty sure it wasn't her. But in my mind, I was like, I just saw Jane Fonda. And I would tell people, I would be like sending texts like, just saw Jane Fonda in Grand Central or whatever. Okay. And the other day, I was walking down the street and I swear to God, I saw Dr. House. Dr. House was panhandling. And I was like, Hugh Laurie from Dr. House? Oh my God, it was amazing to see him. But like, I have now turned from non-existent celebrity appearances and not being observational to seeing too many celebrities and being delusional. Which is your fighter? Pick your fighter. Delusion or confusion. Okay. And now I am Delaware. I am delusional, but I am aware of my surroundings. And I pick Delaware every time. Okay. I pick Delaware every time. My I'm sorry for this week. My I'm sorry for this week goes out to the creators of Stranger Things. I am so sorry that you created a finale so bad that the entire internet had to come up with a conspiracy in order for your finale to make sense, in order for them to not be upset about it. Okay? The Stranger Things conspiracy, the show just ended, right? The final season. And the finale took place and everyone was like, that can't be it. Like, this must be like 3D chess. Like, they're dropping eggs, like all these Easter eggs, that like this is not the real ending. And like there are all these like hidden events. Like, it's not closed yet. There must be like another lost episode that explains all the things that are happening. And there was also a whole conspiracy on Twitter, and they were trying to figure out like, okay, the date and the time, like when is it going to drop? And every single time one of these dates came up and it passed. It's like those people who thought that the world was going to end in 2000 with the millennium, and then again in like 2005, and then again in like 2010, and then again in like 2020. Like every single time it's like, oh well, this date passed. Oh yes, let's reinvent the text. Like, let's go back to the text and let's make sure that's correct. Okay. So I'm sorry to them, because their show was so bad that people had to make up an entirely better ending in order to sit with it. Like, they had to think of something way smarter and better and assume that you were doing it because it was that bad. And I find that hysterical. And oh, I am so sorry to you. But it honestly seems like they cut a lot of corners. And they like used ChatGPT for the script, and they really didn't close a lot of loops. So I'm actually not sorry, because you had like a multi-million-dollar, like probably fractions of $1 billion budget. Like, you really couldn't like ask a fan or like go to the annals of your mind to find these fucking answers. Come on, people. Rich people, I swear to God, I cannot live with them. The fact that you have like all of this money in order to make something good for the people who care about it, and you still don't. Moving on, songs of the week. My song of the week is probably Sweet and Low by Peach PRC. And it is very much the lesbian strap-on anthem. And I've also been listening to She's American by the 1975 on repeat. Okay, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. Okay. And don't let Mark Anthony ruin your son's wedding. All right, so that's all for me. This has been Gay Rave. I am the Gabby L, and the L is for, say it with me, love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.